So yeah, a chamber member in the city, you could have a 6% advantage.
Now, in section 1 of that, it says, which to the bid or quote of any bidder which is neither Swartz Creek-based business nor an area-based business shall add an amount equal to 5%.
Yeah, those items are defined in sections 3 and 4, if that's what you're getting at.
Well, to me,
Swartz Creek based versus area based.
well, no, it sounds like to me, that sounds like it's giving a bonus to people who aren't Swartz Creek.
No, I'm sorry, what that means is you adjust their bid. So you do add it to it. So if someone from Flushing bids $1, and someone from Swartz Creek bids $1, since the person from Flushing is neither city-based nor area-based, we add 5% to their bid. Cool. When we look at the transaction amount. So all of a sudden their bid becomes $1.05. This one stays $1, therefore it's the lowest. You could do it in reverse, but this way is the way, for some reason, it seems to be noted in policies. You adjust the bids positively, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to reducing a bid amount by a percentage, you add a percentage to another bid.
Thank you.
And just so council's aware, what we've been dealing with now is the bottom of page 88. This is existing in our ordinance and in our purchasing policy. It says, if it is in the best interest of the city, the purchasing agent shall deal with sources within the city. I'm extremely uncomfortable with that language because all of us do business in the city all the time for personal reasons. Whether it's insurance, eating stuff, having shirts printed for baseball or whatever it is. And that provides no objectivity to decision-making in terms of what's in the best interest of the city. And so something our staff have been cognizant of is that, of course, we want to use the local screen printer, but we don't want to do so at a higher expense if someone's going to say, well, of course, they printed shirts for so-and-so's baseball team, so of course they're going to go use them. You know, it's a personal decision. And none of us want to be involved in those personal decisions, and that's why the policy is good for the council and staff, because it creates, again, a predictable means of making these decisions that doesn't create the appearance of someone being like compromised by the free cup of coffee or whatever. Does this make sense? Because we are a small community, and all of us do business locally, I hope. You know, I get an oil change, it's in town, and I don't need somebody saying the only reason the city sends their fleet there is because he gets his oil change there. It's not. This policy will guarantee that. We're still doing business the right way, but that line is so ambiguous. You know, use local people if it's in the best interest of the city. It doesn't protect our integrity. So that's the reason why I think, as boring as it is, we add numbers to this still.
Hi, my name is Susie Keatsman, 7543 Miller Road, which is Feather and Fenn. I am a Clinton Township resident, but I am a business owner in Swartz Creek. My question is, Adam, are you saying, because right now I do not belong to the chamber, but are you telling us that you're going to hold businesses technically hostage for that 1% if you don't belong to the chamber?
The 1%, there'd be a 1% advantage for chamber members.
That's what I'm saying. So you would not receive the 1% if you were not a chamber member.
Correct.
Can I ask why?
Well, strategically, we're looking to encourage chamber membership.
Okay.
The city's a member, and through the chamber, we're hoping to exercise a lot of our strategic goals. Part of what we're driving in terms of our downtown development and quality of life initiative is a lot of the events that you see starting. Some of them continuing but new. I think not Christmas in the Creek, the tree lighting ceremony is in its second year.
Yes.
And trunk or treat's in its first year.
Correct.
We're finding a lot of success in those. And we believe that the chamber's going to be a big part of encouraging more events like that. And that having business involvement in that will make that better. Make it occur quicker with greater scale.
Okay.
So the council can obviously consider that component, because it's one component of the thought, right? There's an intent to use local people, and there's a smaller but still a present intent to use those that are participating in the chamber. And so, as your business is in the city, so you get the 5%.
Okay.
Doesn't matter where you reside. It's where the business is
I
located.
understand.
Even if it was a franchise, Yeah, if it's located in the city, it's located
I
in the
am
city.
not a chamber member as of yet, but I do know as a small feather and fin, Mark and myself and my family gives a lot back to the city. And I graduated from, so my heart is in the city, whether it's 1%. I don't like that wording at all, but that's not up to me to change. Kind of like a border between Clayton Township and Swartz Creek. I remember years ago when we were at the voting on the Swartz Creek meadows that went in there on Seymour Road. I stood here and was told that I'm a Clayton Township resident. Well, when I went to school back in the 70s, Swartz Creek was Swartz Creek. It didn't matter if you lived in Clayton Township or you lived in Swartz Creek, you were still a creeker. So that's kind of, I understand 5%, but you're going to say on top of that, 1% more by being a chamber member.
Correct, correct.
Was that your major concern?
Well, I just didn't like the wording. It sounded to me like, if you're a chamber member, you get the extra 1%. If you're not, you only get 5%. That, correct, it was. I just didn't like the wording because it sounded to me like it was a forcible thing by our city. So, yes.
And it's not, like even the city, we all know there's businesses just outside the city that are all in,
Mhm.
and they can't benefit from the 5%. So there's a valid conversation to be had there. That's the downside of policy.
Okay.
It sets parameters that, for the sake of predictability and transparency and equal treatment,
Right.
at some point, there's the line, and like you said, north side of Miller, by Seymour's Clayton, south side's the city.
Correct,
Sorry.
yeah. Oh, I
Yeah,
understand.
you got a print shop on the south side, you get 5%, you're on the north, you get 3%. Even if
Very
that
true.
group is 10th generation Swartz Creek.
I
So,
totally understand.
I hear what you're saying, and it's up
Yeah.
for consideration.
And I'm not saying
Yeah.
nothing against the chamber, that I just, the way it worded was like, if you don't belong to the chamber, then you only get this. So I
No,
wanted to
no, it's-
clarify.
I hear you.
Okay, that's fine.
It won't be back, it'll be back in a week at the soonest, and
No,
people have
it's,
thoughts on it.
okay, thank you very much.
That's why we're asking for your input.
I'm correct.
I am Timmy Primal, 4366 Morris Road. The chamber, you want more members? Do you want members at work or you just want members? There's a difference. I belong to the chamber, I belong to Swartz Creek Chamber, I'm a banker, I belong to many, many chambers. If you want to belong to a chamber, you need to be willing to be at every meeting, you need to be willing to work and help grow that chamber. Just because I'm a member, I shouldn't get 1%, just because I paid my money. If I don't show up, what good am I? Somebody like Feather and Fen, who bends over backwards constantly, donating, free-time volunteer, whatever it may be, is not a chamber member, but the city of Swartz Creek gets more out of her than they do out of some of the people in Swartz Creek Chamber. So I would really, really like you to take that into consideration when you start putting percentages on things. Okay? So anybody can be a chamber member, but not everybody does what somebody like she does. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else address this issue? Okay. Anybody on the council want to say anything else?
I got a multitude of questions.
Of course.
When I was reading through this, thinking about it, I got to thinking, always in the past, I think we've always tried to do business in Swartz Creek. But then I got to thinking, what do we really buy from businesses in Swartz Creek as a city? Mr. Severcek, I'm sure he doesn't buy pumps in the city, because I don't think anybody sells pumps in the city. Hoses, gardens, anything. I mean, if you need something that's immediate, they go to Gilroy's and get it. I was trying to think, what kind of money are we talking about? What kind of goods are we talking about? I'm not saying that we shouldn't do this, but I was trying to think, what really we're gonna go through all these motions and is it gonna benefit us? Sounds good, we all wanna do that, But, I can see maybe with the, schools might benefit, maybe even the schools, are they buying their printing supplies in locally, are they buying, I'm sure they get their gas here.
So-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm trying to
the answer is-
visualize this.
Yeah, the answer is a lot of that. And like the school's gonna be spending $50 million, 48, in the next 3 years on facilities. And so there are a lot of trades.
But that,
In the city,
most
in
of
the
them are
area.
based in the city.
There's quite a
They're gonna be hiring
There's a
electricians
lot.
and, right?
Right, there's a lot of trades located in the
Businesses
city.
in this area?
A
Well,
lot.
in the Swartz Creek School District,
In the city.
but not in the city.
In the city. A
Really?
lot of trades in the city. And certainly in the area, because, this is part of the conversation that's happening. It's unfortunate the city is just 5 square miles from that standpoint, because the
Right.
community is very big.
Right.
Very big. And there are a lot of community businesses that will benefit from the 3%. That will happen. Can't miss. But to answer your question, a lot of it could be professional services, certainly a lot of trades. And fleet maintenance, fuel, we happen to use the city provider for at this moment. Mowing services. There's a list, I don't have a number for you. And it, yes, there's some printings, screen printing, stuff like that. That's small amounts, but again, when you look at the businesses, you say, well, that might only be an additional couple $1,000s a year. Like our printing newsletter is a perfect example. What did we spend, $8,000 a year? That's not a lot from our budget, but give it to a small business that didn't get it last year. Could be a lot to them. So, that's one of the items we look at, is if the scale is small, then there's no need to worry about it, right?
I'm not worried about it, I was just trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a tremendous amount, from us. More of it could be the schools, the other partners, and again, part of that, and this again is an idea that came out of the chamber, and that's why I do find value in that group. There seems to be a good network building that is more local, and so this is one of those areas where everyone's going to hopefully help each other. And as an institution, we can take a leadership position in it, or not, whatever. But the idea is if businesses begin to put their money where their mouth is, participate in their community, this is a part where it's not just the city, you're talking about leveraging the spending power of every maybe public institution, or again, large businesses, even church groups, whatever, people that spend money. Library Senior Center, fire department, maybe Metro PD would consider something similar, I don't know. But if you can start building a network from that standpoint, leveraging all the spending power, it will become very substantial. Because a lot of those services have been awarded out in the past, and it has had a different impact. We used to use lawn care services from as far away as Grand Blanc. And now we have somebody that's in the community. And I know those people, and they're able to make a living off this. Okay, and that's fantastic. And so if we can do that a dozen more times as a city or school district, or 100 if we get other people in, then you start to really build up a stronger network. The beauty of policy is you can look at other places to ascertain whether it's successful or not. You can sit here and theorize all day long that, well, if A is greater than B, and B is greater than, and the logic of it, but communities that have done this for a while, have built a strong working relationship between school, city, chamber, business community, and institutions that represent them, have had a lot of success developing the local economy and developing what the books call social capital. The ability of businesses to give back time, money, resources, ideas, creativity, and that's a huge part of our quality of life initiative. As we sell homes and lives in Swartz Creek, we've got to have events, we've got to have a vibrant downtown, we've got to have creativity, arts, vibrant youth programs with coaches and people in the community that are willing to pay and sponsor teams. And you see that a lot in communities that have built a strong local base. This is just one part of it. But that's, again, a number, I don't have a number, and it won't be substantial.
I didn't expect you to.
But I can think of a couple contracts where it would be extremely beneficial to the local business.
Give me an example, I just can't visualize.
The mowing would be a big one, printing would be another one, the mechanical trades and electrical, we do a lot of electrical work throughout. Those can add up substantially. Flat work, there's a lot of companies that do flat work or concrete work, we do a lot of that. If we look
And
at,
I think we hire local people.
yeah,
Mr. Zettel,
if you look at our street
we
contracts,
have a request for a break, so I'm going to declare a 5-minute break here for people who use the facilities if they need to. And try and hold your thoughts, we can continue this conversation when you come back.